another week, another month. I was gonna say another week, another month, another update to the tier list. And before I do put in the new 4 units that came out throughout the month of January, let me talk about some changes I personally did. But yeah, the new units, Balion, Red King, and the 2 Asteroses that we still don't know why they're released 2 at the same time. I know Asterosa just came out this week, but I've like played with both of them a lot. I'm saying like a very good amount. With UR gear, with just SSR gear, and I feel like I have a really good evaluation. Of all these 4 units, the one I used the least was Balion, and I got him to 80. Like I made the sacrifice. I got him to 80 and I tested him decently well, but I just got bored of his unit. I thought that he was going to be so much better, but yeah, so I did some changes. I did bump Blue King to God tier, just for the fact that they buffed Cleansing. At the same time, they nerfed Petrify and Attack Seal, but they buffed Cleansing, so now, if you're Attack Sealed, if you cleanse in that same turn, you can use an attack card, for example. Or if you're Petrified, if you cleanse in that turn, you can use the unit that was Petrified. So, Cleansing just became a busted ability, and he can cleanse on level 1. That's like, so good. And I changed this. I know I'm cheating, but I added a tier just for Blue Melly and Lilia. I couldn't put him in God tier, and I couldn't put him in SS tier, so I'm putting him in the middle. Just a tier for the both of them, just because they have to be like together, right? If you're using Blue DML, you need Lilia. Not necessary to have Blue DML if you're using Lilia. You can use Lilia in other teams, but let's be realistic. She's there for Blue DML. Like, she's made to support Blue DML and the Hauser, but you know. And I did bump down some units. I bumped down Hauser, because I felt like he really fell off. No one's running the Hauser, Blue DML, and Lilia team anymore. It's just not viable. Everyone's running Escanor, DML, and Lilia. And if you're not using Lilia, Hauser's just trash on PvP. So, it's just, yeah. And I supposed to bump Arthur? Arthur is just so good. He's like the best partner for Escanor, so I'm bumping him to SS tier. And he's like super good in Guild Boss. Speaking of, I'm also bumping up Green Helbram to S tier as well. I don't know why he was in A tier. He's super good for Guild Boss. The only issue that Green Helbram has is that he's really weak, and it only really is useful if you're going like super hard on Guild Boss, right? If you're going like 10k points, it's how you're using Green Helbram. If you're just doing 2.2k points every week like a normal person would, you're not really using him, but for the comps I feel like you should bump him up. And who was also, yes, Slater. So here's the thing, they made a new patch. This is also recent. Now you are supposed to do hell raids, because now you have these drops to increase the level of costumes. So every unit that's good in hell raids are getting a bump up. It's just how it is, because now you need to use these units on hell raids. That's why I'm actually bumping Valencia to SS tier as well. She is good for PvP. She's really good for PvP. Now we have like more teams with her now with Estarossa as well. And if you don't know, if you use this girl on Grey Demon, the Hell one, he doesn't do damage. Like the enemy literally doesn't do damage to you if you're using Valencia. So she's like a must use on that raid. Only one person really has to use it, but if you have 2 of them, like I've been running these days with my boy Ryan ever since the new update, the Grey Demon, we both use Valencia and he literally does like 10 damage when he attacks. It's just so busted. Slater, I'm bumping Slater is good, but like if I'm really gonna be honest, Blue Bond. So if you skip to the end of the video and you don't hear my explanation why Blue Bond's getting bumped up, I'm gonna spank you. Blue Bond is the best unit for Red Demon. I've been rocking, I just ran 6 Red Demons on Hell, back to back with Ryan as well. And he's using Blue Bond, this one. And I was using the Nunchunk Blue Bond. the discrepancy of damage is huge. Like, this bond destroys the red demon. And I was also rocking Slater. He's not as good, but if you have like a really good Slater, he's good as well. So that's why I'm bumping Blue Bond to the S tier. Now, if someone, oh, why is this Blue Bond over like this girl? Listen, I really praise how useful a unit is in the game. And Blue Bond is more useful than all these units. Not all of them, but you get what I mean. He has like a really necessary use. So that's why I'm bumping him up. Now, for like, what's it called? The Crimson. It was like DMLE already, so he's already here. Arthur, Gopher. So that's the comp, right? Setup. It's these. Or if you want to use Ascanor, if you want to be like a cool boy and use Ascanor, so they're already up there. So that's it for that. Now again, just because you need to do Hell, and actually I'm not bumping up King because I've been doing Grey Demon with Ascanor. Weird. I thought it would be better to do with King, but Ryan told me, and he's better than me. He said, nah, use Ascanor because Ascanor's ult hits super hard. It's worth it. So that's why I'm actually doing that. And because you don't have Gopher, King's first attacks are not very hard. They don't hit very hard, so you're really there for the ult damage. So Ascanor is like super good for it as well. Another reason he's God tier. But finally, let's go into the 4 new units. Those were the changes. Oh, I'm sorry. Also bumping Green Jericho because of the guild boss. And I'm putting her together with Hellbrim right here. Just because the guild boss. So also, by the way, there's no order in the tiers. The tiers are all like meshed together. If there was order, it would be like too much like for me to think, honestly. But yeah, I'm bumping the Green Jericho as well just because of that reason also. Okay, finally, let me get to the new units. Bellion. Out of the pack, I feel like Red Esteros is the worst. Bellion is a good unit on paper. Like you look at what he does, right? He applies Crush, which ignores the Endurance, which is like super good, right? And he takes off Ult Gauge. He has the same card that Green Merlin has, which is like a super good card. But I use him and he's just not good. Like, I don't know what it is. I use him on PvP, I use him on PvE, he's just boring. And not very strong. Like, he's good. I'm just throwing like criticized words because that's how I that's how I am. But the only thing holding him together really for PvP right here, you see database put PvP higher up, is because what people do is they get his ultimate because it hits really hard. They like force get his ultimate. But like his cards, like you get level 3, right? I think, did I do this on my PvP showcase? I played like on my PvP showcase and also like some extra matches as well on geared and ungeared with him. And this card just doesn't do I don't know what it is, he just doesn't do damage. And he only does damage, right, with this card. And this one takes off Ult Gauge, is the same as Merlin, but he's just a boring, not that strong unit. But he's good. It's just, when I saw what he did, I thought he would be so much better because of this. Crush, ignores Endurance. I thought he would be so good. He's just good. I'm still putting him on the A tier. He's good. He's just like not that busted. Like units on the A tier are good, by the way. Just because yeah, units like in C tier doesn't mean they're useless. Like all these units, right? This unit, I use them on Training Cave. Like these units are decent. They're usable. So don't get anything like mixed up. He's good, but I expected so much more when his info came out. I got really disappointed. I wish I didn't give him the 80. If I need to put in words, I wish I got my pendants back. But yeah, moving on. So Red King, it's really good. Here's the thing. Red King is only usable in PvP. That's a downside, right? He's only usable in PvP because his passive, and I think this is the dumbest thing they've done in PvP, reduce the penetration of all enemies by half as well, reducing additional penetration by half. I 100% think his passive should be, take this off, reduce the penetration of all enemies on PvE and PvP. You would, like, this king would be God tier. Like straight up, he would just be god tier if he had that passive, but no, he only works on PvP, which is good, but a lot of times just want to do some PV, you know what I'm saying? Want to do some super boss. Imagine if you could just rock him on super boss in the back. Like he would be so useful in those modes, but he just, nah. But yeah, his cards are terrible, very low multipliers. He's only there for the passive, and again, database just max on passive, and then just the other ones are really low. Although I would say I'll bump this to like max, just because every single person that's using penetration team is rocking Red King in the back. Literally every single person on the high tiers is rocking Red King in the back. It's kind of a must. The meta team right now is Red Escanor, Ludium Ellie, Lilia, and Red King in the back. So he is like a super busted unit. Don't worry, he is in banners. Like he came with the original character banner, so it would like seem like he's like original character. He's like really exclusive, but he is in banners. You can probably just pull him randomly from a ticket or something. But the penetration team with this guy is necessary, and also with the mono red team, he works really well, because if you face like a blue Diamelli, he can kind of help you out on that. And he's like another attempt that the game had to take off blue Diamelli from the meta, and they failed so miserably because he works so well with the penetration team. It made the penetration team better. But other than that, like King is a fantastic unit. Don't regret the 80 at all. Moving on, I'm gonna leave Green Estarossa for last because he's probably my favorite unit in the game. Like straight up, he's probably my favorite unit in the game. But Red Estarossa, ooh, sheesh. Here's the thing. I tested him on Crimson. He is good for Crimson. Like, straight up, he is like super good for Crimson. But why would you, like, there's so many options for Crimson these days. Like, actually, like Red DML, boom. Just the standard, right? Super good, reliable, consistent, good. And then there's also now Red Escanor, which is also really good. And then why would you, like, you already have, like, let's say you already have these guys like worked on. You're not gonna work on this guy for the same purpose. You just wouldn't. And I would also recommend working on these guys and not this guy. So this card, 220 and then 220 seals, healing skills. It's good for the Crimson. Oh, actually, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. This card doesn't work on Crimson. This card is good for Crimson. This one right here is good for Crimson. Demon Melly's card. This one. This card is good for Crimson because it applies Infect. So he can't like heal and regenerate from when he does damage to you. It's really good. This one doesn't work because it doesn't function. Like you attack him and then he just nullifies the effect. It just doesn't work. So not that good for that. This card hits pretty hard though. Like legitimately, I think I hit for like 300k with a level 3 and he had like 4 ignites. So it hits really hard, but it just DML hits as hard. Like DML hits as hard. So it's like there's no reason to get Red Estarossa, and for everything else in the game, he's bad. He's bad for PvP. He's bad for farming. He's bad for I wanna see super bosses. He's bad for just regular PvE. Not good. Like he's just not a good unit. I really want to put him in B tier. Like straight up, I just want to put him in B tier just because terrible timing as well. Like he released with another unit with the same name, dog. And you can't run both in the same team or something. It's just I want to put him on B tier. My senses are telling me I should put him in A tier though. So that's where I'm putting him. But I really want to put him in B tier. Just because it just frustrates me that he released with another unit with the same name that's so much better than him. And if you pull Red Estarossa, I'm so sorry for you. Like, if you pull Red Estarossa, it could have been the green one. And the green one's my favorite unit in the game. So, let's talk about the green one though. I put him in the SS tier. Now, let me explain why. So, I really also want to put him in God tier, but I'm gonna hold my horses, okay? I'm gonna hold my horses until like maybe like next month when I work on the next iteration of this tier list. Maybe I'll put him on the God tier, but for now, that's where I'm holding him on. We're in Estarossa. Let's just start with him being a fantastic PvP unit. I was playing Masters 1. I didn't face a single bot, and I won 10 matches in a row. I don't have the game open. Oh, and I couldn't even check because we're like 10 minutes away from restarting the thing. But I was like with 3,990, I think, points on Masters 1 because I just wasn't losing. Like, I just wasn't losing with Estarossa. He's just so good. I was using Estarossa, Gopher, King, and Merlin in the back. If you didn't watch the podcast, we got Jay. He's a top 5 player, and he told us this team, and I checked it out. It's just so good. He's like super good. I was facing Blue DMLs and I was just destroying them with his counters. He's just fantastic unit. Also really good for Geared as well, the same team. He's just so good. But here's why he's my favorite unit. So his first skill ignores defense, hits really hard. 500% ignores defense, he hits really hard. He has good penetration, 40. It's good. It's not insane, he's not Escanor, but he's good. And here's the counter card. It doesn't rely on HP like counter melee, and it taunts, so the enemy has to attack you if they're a single target. And not only that, because of his passive, they can't petrify you. One big thing with like counter melee is that if they have a king, right, they can just petrify you and the counter doesn't go off. But with his passive, he gets immunity for 2 turns when he uses a counter card, so he can't be petrified. He's just so good, and the counters work as it turns, so it's not like just one counter and the counter ends. If someone attacks you 3 times on PvE, like you know the enemy's attacking you 3 times, you use the counter card. He's gonna attack you. He's gonna attack Estarossa 3 times and take 3 counters. It's, man, I'm so sad the Super Boss King left because he was blue type, right? I wanted to see Estarossa destroy that Super Boss so hard. Oh my god. But this is so fun. This card is just fun to use as well. His ultimate, PvE Destroyer. Because PvE, like CPUs are not very smart. And like his ultimate is that he cancels the enemy's next turn if they attack. And he does a counter to the attack as an ultimate. An AoE ultimate. If the enemy doesn't do anything, it doesn't like nothing happens, and then the ultimate is wasted. That's why I'm saying like in PvP it's not that good. I've been fighting people in Challenger, and some people they're just kind of dumb and they attack, but some people they just move cards and they just don't do anything, and that's it. Like the whole thing doesn't happen. The only way this can be good on PvP, really realistically, is if you get someone else's ultimate like King, and that's why the team I said it works so well, because you have Gopher, King, and Estarossa. You get Estarossa's ultimate, and in that turn that you make so the enemy can't do anything, you get King's ultimate, and then King does his big time massive super busted ultimate and kills everyone. So his ultimate's still good in PvP, it's just that you need the right setup, right? But his ultimate is just I love his ultimate as well. It's so fun to just destroy the AI on PvE as well, because they don't know any better. They are going to attack you and they're going to take the counter. I don't like his commitment though. The one downside from Estarossa, from everything that he has, is his commandment. It's just, I hate that my allies are always going to be like attack lowered. So will the enemies though, but still. The one thing is that if you take the stance, you're gonna get nullify, you're gonna get immunity, right? So you're not gonna be attack down on Estarossa, but all the allies are gonna be attack downed. That's the only thing. But yeah, he's not good for any raids though. Just not. He's terrible. Even on Grey, he doesn't do damage. I tried him out. He's bad. But if like in practical use, he's like my favorite in the game. So I'm putting him in the SS tier, and I'm leaving as that. Not putting him in God tier for now. I also realistically think he won't be in God tier. He's not like meta. He's just really fun to use, and I love the unit. But yeah, that's where I ended. I think this is fine. If there's anything you think I should change, let me know in the comments, and that's it.